It's definitely shocking to see.
School board member Heather Rooks describing her reaction to seeing Peoria Unified's district office surrounded in yellow crime scene tape.
This shouldn't have had to happen. We work really well with Peoria PD.
Rooks had been the president of the board until she was ousted back in May after criticizing how the district handled accusations that two Centennial High School teachers had an inappropriate sexual relationship with the same student.
The truth will come out. That's the message to the district. The truth will come out because parents are tired of this nonsense.
According to the police report, Haley Beck exchanged thousands of texts about sexual and illegal activity with that teen. Angela Berlacca is accused of sending him videos of herself naked. It's raised questions about how the school and the district handled the situation. Berlacca and Beck were put on leave soon after the police began investigating back in August. Berlacca resigned. Beck was fired.
I would want, one, people to be held accountable, and two, for teachers and people that I trust when I send my kids to school to speak up and report it.
Neither of these former teachers have been criminally charged. The county attorney's office tells me Peoria police submitted the case and that they're reviewing it. It is unclear tonight whether or not this latest search warrant is in connection to the ongoing criminal investigation into those two teachers or for the district and administrators for failure to report. So still so many questions there. We should mention the district insists they did nothing wrong. They stand by the school and administrators saying they are fully cooperating with police. I reached out to the district to get their response to this latest development and still have not heard back. Jared, Nicole?
Amy, everybody's on summer break, but I think the school board's supposed to meet tomorrow night to vote on a potential new principal for Centennial High School. Any idea where that stands?
Yeah, so there are just so many moving parts here. I had the chance to speak with a school board member who tells me that meeting will still happen. It will no longer happen at the district office just behind us. Instead, at Marshall Ranch Elementary in the cafeteria. The agenda there has been scaled back. They're going to be focusing on a budget vote, and they say the other items, including that Centennial High School principal, will be the focus of the next school board meeting. A special meeting there will happen on July 16th.
It'll be the elephant in the room.
Everybody will be
tomorrow
watching
night.
for sure very closely. Amy, thank you for staying on top of it.